What is up, YouTube? It's Draw Allah here, and today I have this drawing of this peasant girl that I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And today I'm going to be telling you why I love Ohuhu Markers so much and showing you all their great qualities as I color this. But before we get started, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to receive notifications so you guys know every time I post a new video. So first things first, I'm going to give you guys some background info. The very first Ohuhu markers I had ever gotten were a bullet nib and chisel set, and this was maybe 2 years ago. Then when I found out that they made brush markers by Ohuhu, I knew I had to get them. So I decided to get the 120 pack because you gotta go big or go home. And I'm so happy I did because it gives me so many colors to work with. A lot of people think Ohuhu markers are really saturated, and that's why a lot of people are like, oh, that's a downside. But I don't see that as a downside at all. I actually like the saturation. I think it gives my pictures some vibrance and it makes them more colorful. But even though there are a lot of saturated tones, I tried with this picture to show you guys that there are some nice neutrals like beiges and browns and grays. With this peasant girl drawing, I tried to stick to a really brown scheme. So I made her hair brown, her dress is going to be light brown, and her apron's going to be dark brown. The only pop of color I made were maybe the flowers in her hair, which is a nice pretty pink, and her rosy cheeks. Speaking of the rosy cheeks, that brings me to my next point. Ohuhus also blend very, very well. I would say even just as well as Copics. I first put the skin tone down, and then I put a dark pink, and then I used a light pink, and then I blended in the skin tone again to make it look nice and even. Also, when it comes to shading, Ohuhus are really good. As you can see here, I'm shading in the skin, and I also shaded in the hair. And it's good. You can put the color on top of each other. So like if you put the color and then let it dry for a bit, and then you put the color on itself again, it'll already be darker. So shading can be really easy. You don't have to use a lot of different colors. You can just use the same color on top of itself again, which is really neat, especially if you like to take some shortcuts like I do. And now I'm moving on to her apron. One thing that I wasn't sure about though was if it was gonna be too much brown in the drawing. But because Ohuhus have so many different tones, all the browns are a little bit different from each other. They're not all like the same. Getting the 120 pack, another good thing about it is that it gives you a lot of colors to work with. You can try different shading techniques. For example, sometimes if I don't have like an exact darker version or I don't want to put that color on top of each other again, I'll just use a little bit of different color. So by shading the brown, instead of shading with another brown, I'd shade with a gray and it would end up looking okay. Things like that you can really experiment with and you can get some really cool results. I think I've also shaded blue with purple before, a lot of different stuff like that. I think I'm going to be finishing this first drawing now. Yep, and now I'm moving on to the second one. Something that was always hard for me in the beginning was to draw the same character twice, but to make it look like that character. Every time whenever I drew that character a second time, it would end up looking like a completely different person. But I've been practicing with my drawing a lot more lately, and something I was really practicing in this sketchbook was drawing the same character multiple times. If you guys would ever be interested in a sketchbook tour, leave a like down below and I definitely will do it. I am nearing the end of the sketchbook, so if I do hear that you guys are interested in it, I will be sure to make one. Also, in this one, it's a side profile, and the other one, it's like she's facing you. But for the side profile, I really wanted there to be this bow in back of the apron, so I made sure to include it. I knew if she's looking at you, the bow wouldn't be big enough to see from the front, but if she's turned to the side, you would be able to, so I snuck in a bow there. I just think bows are so cute. They're just such a nice little detail that looks girly and kitty at the same time, and I just really wanted to include it. Now, Ohuhus are really good markers, also for their price. When I bought the 120 pack, it put each marker to about $1 a marker. I am not kidding. That is amazing, especially compared to the super expensive Copic markers, which are about like $8 a marker. I don't know about you guys, but I can't see myself buying like 3 markers and each one costs $8. So definitely in that sense, Ohuhus are definitely amazing. Perfect price. Also, if the tip that you're using gets frayed, even though I've been using them for like a month and maybe even more than a month, maybe like 2 months, and I haven't had any of the brushes go bad or any of my markers inks run low. But something Ohuhu did mention is if the tip of the marker should ever fray or not be as good as it originally was, you could switch it out. You could remove it and flip it and turn it to the other side, and it'll be like a brand new tip. I haven't tried that out, so I can't speak for it, but I've seen other people do it. And these are all the Ohuhu markers I used. I didn't use a lot. As you can see, like, you don't need a lot to make a good drawing. I hope you guys like this. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell down below. Bye guys, see you next time!